Hi everyone, how are you? Today I'm going to cover the next level of psychic self-defense, shielding things besides yourself. Say you want to shield your children, you want to add an extra layer of protection for them. You want to shield your pets. Would you like to shield your car or your home or anything else that you feel you need to add an extra measure of protection to? I'm going to cover how you can do that. Some of the ways I visualize and suggestions from people who I've given this lesson to, and they've told me things that they've done, how they've seen it, how they've formed it in their minds. But today I'm going to cover how to do these things. Your kids, your pets, your car, your home. This first here is going to be an example of, say you want to shield your children. So here's your kid. It's a very similar thing to when you're shielding yourself, only you're doing the same thing to someone or something else. So I always do it, I just form the ball around, like when my son was little. I still do it now that he's grown and he knows, we've discussed it, but I just put the measure of protection around him. But say you want to do your dog, cat, whatever your animal, it's the same idea. You just put the gold ball. Like my dog likes to stay out sometimes at night. It's cooler and he likes to go play. And I always throw a shield around him before I send him out if he's out at night. I always just offer an extra measure of gold and I always just put it around him before he goes. And the same idea with your car. I've done my car where I've done, I know it's a terrible drawing. I'm an artist. It's going to drive me crazy, but it's fine. I've done my car where I've started at the back and gone all the way around it. I've done it where I just do a dome around the top, like a turtle shell over the top of my car. I've shielded my tires. I've put blue around a motor when I was in college and my car was in crap shape and I needed a way to know that it could do what I needed it to do till I could get it fixed. And I put, like when I was worried about it getting hot, I would put blue around it to cool it down. I've done, like literally gone from my tires up through my drivetrain into that, protecting the thing that steers the car. I had a car that was going out. And in fact, the funny part about that was I didn't even realize what I was doing. And my ex-brother-in-law, who was a mechanic, told my sister that he had never seen this part that connects to this part of your wheel in such bad shape where it had it like broken and then the car had you couldn't steer it. Quite terrifying, I might add, and I've never done that since, but I just needed to graduate. I only had a month. Anyway, so that worked. It kept it that way. So it's like proof that what I was doing was actually being effective. So that's your car, a person, your kid, and I've shown you like your pets. And here's how I do. So if you're in your home, okay, and you need to do protection in your home, I have done it where I call it steel walls of light or steel doors of light, where I've slammed them closed together. So gold slam, and I do it in all four directions. So on this wall, same thing, slam the door shut. I do the floor and I do the ceiling. Sometimes I just do the square and don't do the roof, but other times I'll take a bubble of protection and go up over and completely surround my property. It just really feels like whatever I feel led to do. I just kind of let instinct guide it. Like I was living in San Diego during the earthquake, the big earthquake that hit LA. And one night I was shielding my apartment before I went to bed because I lived in kind of a shady part of town. And for some reason, I kept feeling this urge to extra shield my roof. So I did it like 10 more times. And oddly enough, in the middle of the night, we had that earthquake. So the urge to extra shield my roof had to do with the fact that the house was shaken that night. So it really does. There is the measure of you put the gold light around things, but there's also the measure of if your instincts tell you, do extra, do this, do that, kind of let spirit guide you. I'm just giving you the basic guidelines. So for your home, I do steel doors. So like the door comes from up and down and they slam together. And I do all four walls, and I do the same thing on the ceiling, and I do the same thing on the floor. Because the way I look at it is this: spirit, this matter doesn't affect spirit. So yeah, you could put it around you, but it can come up in through the floor and down through the roof if you are not careful. So this is why I do basically put yourself in a box. If you feel led to do, like I said, like your whole property, like I have a tree in my front yard and then my car's parked over here. So I will take from the back of my back fence and I will take a gold ball and I go up over the ceiling down to the sidewalk. I go before the sidewalk starts because people have a right to walk on the sidewalk. So I don't want to block or mess with anyone's passage because that's an area where people can walk. So I don't block that part, but I block up into the sidewalk, which means I block my whole house, my driveway, my car. I just put a golden dome and then I go under the ground back and I form it closed. But until you get better at it, and even though I do this, I still do the white light walls. Or not white light anymore. I keep saying that, but honestly, I use gold now. It's just habit. I've done it for years and years, and it's just recently changed colors. And also with me, I'm a psychic medium, and I'm very sensitive to spiritual activity and spirits and things running around. So if I don't do this, I don't sleep well because things are coming in and out of my house. And the way I feel about it when it's not shielded and it's not properly protected is it feels like I'm sitting in a wind tunnel of activity. So this forms a warm cocoon in my house. Or even if I just am tired, I just do my room. This forms a warm cocoon where I don't feel like I sleep better. I feel like I relax better. It's better for me as far as me because I'm sensitive to spiritual activity. This is better for me to get good rest. And I can always tell if I go to someone's house who isn't psychically aware or doesn't have some kind of measure of protection on their home because it feels like I'm sitting in a wind tunnel. And no, there's no air moving, but that's what it feels like to me because I can feel the energy flowing in and flowing out. And so I don't sleep well in situations like that. So then I end up extra shielding myself, So anyway, this is just some things, and if you have something else that you want to shield, I have a scooter. I do the dome around my scooter. So here's the scooter and, I'm riding it and then I do the dome on the scooter. And so I do a dome in that way. And oddly enough, it seems to help with the bugs hitting me in the face too. Kind of funny. So all I'm saying is this stuff really works, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion. I found that it does work. I was living in a place in Texas, and I'm sitting on the front porch with my kid, and we're sitting here. Here's the two of us. And this is the driveway. And this guy comes up, and I know him because he mows the lawn. But me and the kid are sitting here on the porch and he comes walking, towards me. And I don't know why I had the urge to do it. But all of a sudden, I just threw the light door in front of him like this. I just slammed it down. So even though he didn't have a face or anything, obviously it was weird. I just felt this urge to put the door down, right? To put the white light wall in front of him. He literally got to this part without saying anything, turned around and just left. So obviously what that told me was he was obviously up to no good in whatever his mental state was when he was coming up that drive to talk to me and my son. He was obviously up to something shady, because I don't know why I had the urge. It just came out of the blue, and I don't ignore when I get messages like that. If I feel the need to put a wall of light between me and someone else, I don't ignore it. I just put it down. And he literally stopped right here and left, turned around and just left. So this stuff works. It's just like I said in the video on doing it for yourself. You practice. It's just like any other muscle. Being spiritual, being psychic. Like if I have periods where I'm not doing a lot of readings, I will notice that I struggle more. It's like drawing, any other exercise. You have to, you choose to, I don't like to say have, you choose to keep it active and keep it working in your life. And it gets better and better as it goes along, and you get better and better able to read the energy of a situation and know when you need it and when you do not. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you very much. Have a good day. As an extra, I forgot to include about how to shield yourself. I included that in my first video of the psychic self-defense, self-shielding, but like this is a person sitting. So what you would do is you would picture I do gold, but if you don't feel led to do gold, it's like I say, do the whatever color, however you feel led to do it. But the idea is to surround yourself with a ball of protection, like the boy in the plastic bubble. So what I have found, or what I tell people, is that you'll need to sit and you will need to focus, and in your mind's eye, form it, and you will form it around yourself. And I only describe it as a click. You will feel it seal shut. It's like it clicks, and it kind of like mutes some of the other stuff. It's almost like it muffles it, but it doesn't. It just keeps it it's not so loud after that, which is a good thing. Because what I have found as a psychic is that what makes me good at what I do is the ability to turn it off and turn it on at will. That's what makes a good psychic. The ability to decide when and where to allow energy in. But what I was going to say is some of the people that I know who do different types of shielding, I've heard of people picturing themselves covered in golden armor, putting armor around their whole body, shielding themselves with golden armor from head to toe, putting armor on. So that's an option for you. I've heard of someone doing strings and strings and strings of white light over themselves and covering themselves almost like spider webs, I would guess you would say, because you do almost like a spider web poof around yourself. So, there's many different ways that this works in your mind. I had a friend who used to do this tapping thing that she had learned. And it's been too many years. I can't remember. She took a class or something, and she would do certain numbers like on her arm, almost like we used to joke about it being like Star Trek, like shields up on the ship is how we would do it. So it's the same principle for this as it is with like you're shielding your kid or your pet. You're forming it around them and feeling it connect. And you're doing your car. And it's like I said, it's an exercise. You might have to do it a couple of times to feel like you form it. But I do feel that it is very important that you feel it in your mind, that you feel like as you form this thing, that you feel it form around you and seal shut. And as you form it around your kid, you feel it shut. As you form it around your car, you feel it seal shut. Same idea. Like you feel it close, you feel it connect. So the best thing is to watch the video on doing it for yourself and then get that part down before you do your kid, your car, your pet, anything else that you feel the need to put a measure of protection around. The first thing to do is learning to do yourself And once you get that down and get comfortable doing that, then it is easier to do it for other people, for other objects, for your home, for other things. Anyway, I just wanted to add this in because I kind of go on a tangent and I didn't add it. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.